Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show, and I am your host, Ryan Rieger. So today is part 2 of simple steps to making money online from your passion, your skill, your talent, your interest, whatever you want to say. There are people out there that are willing to pay you for that knowledge that you have, that experience that you have amassed over your life. And it's valuable experience, valuable knowledge, and you can make money from that. So last week we talked about simple steps to make that happen, to start down that road, to dip your toe in the water of finding your audience. This comes down to one thing, is where is your audience? Who are they and where are they hanging out online? And just get in front of them and serve them. And that's simple. Just find out who they are, get in front of them and start asking questions, answering the questions that they have. You'll see the needs that arise from that, and it'll give you ideas on ways to serve them and ways that you can earn an income and create a win-win where you are making money and you are serving them well. I heard a quote I want to share with you real quick. And this is from Amy Porterfield's podcast. I haven't listened to this yet, but I want to. And it's from a guest named Lovey Jones. And she says, when you serve people, you will be seen by the people you need to serve. I love that. When you serve people, you will be seen by the people you need to serve. And when you start just getting out there, you will attract the kind of people that you're looking for. And just comes down to just getting out there, finding those people wherever they are. And last week we talked about Facebook groups. And one reason for that is because it's free. It's completely free to get on Facebook and start lurking and learning in these groups, finding these people that are in these groups that are in the niche that you're interested in serving. And that's one way, but there are so many other places online, even offline. It literally comes down to who is your audience, who is the ideal person you're that you're wanting to serve, and just get in front of them wherever they are. And Facebook is just one simple place to do that. So we're going to continue talking about that here, and then telling you what the next steps are, because people are going to start contacting you. They're going to want more information as you start to answer their questions. First of all, I want to tell you, if you're in Legends, I can't wait to see you all next week. We have our first live conference since October of 2019. We're going to be in Nashville. So if you are listening to this, there's still a couple of days left. You could sign up. We need to give the hotel the final count, I think 3 days before. So it's May 20th through the 22nd in Nashville. Cannot wait for that. If you want to try out Legends, we have a $1 trial for 30 days. Would love for you to be a part of this community. It's vibrant, active. It's a fun community. There's amazing success stories. And I believe it's the place to learn how to grow your business. And we talk about more stuff than just Amazon as well. But it's amzlegends.com/$, and you can get in for $1. But let's continue where we left off last week, talking about making money online from something that you're interested in, a passion that you have, a skill that you have, a talent that you have. And I'm going through some very practical steps. And so I'm going to share some things. I'll have some screenshots on the show notes so that those of you that are listening only can go and look at some of the things I'm referring to. Those of you watching video, you can obviously I might share my screen on something, but I'll describe it for those of you listening, so you're not going to really miss out on anything. I'll just put it in the show notes. This is episode 92. If you go to streamsofincomeradio.com, episode 92, it'll be at the very top of the screen page there, and you'll be able to see everything I'm referring to. But as we go through, we're just following this success path. We call it the pathway for success. It's in my Build Your Income Streams Insiders group with my friend, Jenny Hunt. We talk about some very practical things, and it's just a path of how you can go from one level to the next. And so when you come in there, you'll know exactly what you need to do, because a lot of groups you'll get into and it's overwhelming. You're like, where do I start? What do I do next? This pathway for success helps you figure out what your next step is. And so on last week, we went through the find your people section of that. And today we're going to talk about the follower pathway. So this is where people are starting to contact you. You're starting to engage more. You're starting to get them into your funnel. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So that's the Build Your Income Streams Insiders group. You can also get a $1 trial of that if you're interested. And I'll put a link in the show notes for that. So what happens when you're in these groups? Last week, we talked about going into groups, finding these groups on Facebook, serving in there, lurking and learning, essentially finding the characteristics of the group, the atmosphere of the group. What are the rules? What's allowed? What's not allowed? But primarily, you're just going to be looking for people to serve, looking for those questions that you can answer. And at this point, you're going to be tweaking. You're going to be learning, is this my audience? Is this the niche I want to go into? And you will always be doing this. You are not like marrying yourself to this niche forever. You may pivot, months or years down the road. You may change and just focus in on something different. So this is not, you're not locked into this. So there's no pressure there. I know some of you are worried, what if I'm not interested in this topic in 2 years? That's okay. You can pivot. You can go do something different. Just get started where you are now. Start getting involved in these groups. Start looking for people that you can serve, and you may end up going to be more niche down. So maybe you're interested in photography. You may start at a broad group like that and realize, you know what, my people are actually in the nature photography niche, and you're going to find groups for that. So you're always going to be, maybe niching down, pivoting, learning who your ideal audience is. You're always going to get better at learning who that is and serving them, and figuring out who do you serve the best. And then you're going to attract those types of people. So you're in these groups, you're engaging with them. Hopefully you're following along here. You found 3 to 5 groups to interact in, and you've engaged with 5 people. You've answered some questions. And so we're going to talk about what happens next after you've starting to, and this is something you're always going to be doing at any time you want to start up some new conversations or go serve some folks and grow your email list. You can just go back into these same groups. So these groups will be ones that you have, you're probably getting notifications from. And by the way, a quick tip, you can always turn those notifications off. If you're in a group that has like 10,000 people in it and there's, a couple hundred posts a day, you don't want a notification every time there's a post. You can turn those off completely and then just go in anytime you want to. And then you can search those groups for the questions that somebody might ask. So if you're in a photography group and that's more broad and you just want to know people that are interested in senior portraits, you can type in senior portraits, graduation, anything like that you think might be a keyword inside a question that you can answer. And so you don't have to scroll through 200 posts every time you go in there. So hopefully those are some quick tips there. So you're serving folks. They're going to contact you. They're going to want more information from you. They're going to private message you. They're going to stalk you. They're going to stalk your Facebook profile. So right now I'm going to talk about some things that you can have on your Facebook profile that will help move them along the process. So I want to share in the show notes under Streams of Income Radio, I'll just share what I have on mine. If you're watching on video, I'll just share my screen here real quick. But those of you that are listen only, you're not missing out on anything. I'll take a screenshot and put it in the show notes. So this is my business profile. The difference between a business profile and a personal profile. So your personal profile is probably what you already have. I would suggest that you get a business page on Facebook. It's super, super easy to set one up. Just go to the top right, hit the plus sign on Facebook and click page. And then there you can set it up there. I have a Ryan Rieger personal profile and also a Ryan Rieger business page. This just all depends on how you want to be, how do you want to promote yourself? I have lots of things underneath my Ryan Rieger umbrella. So that's why I chose something broad as just my name. You could have a page for, let's say I love nature photography, or nature photography is the best. You could call it that. It doesn't really matter. You can change it when you want. It's not super. I think you can change it like every 28 days, maybe. So be a little bit conscious of what you're picking. But no, you can always just change it at some point later when you want to. If your niche changes or you want to niche down or get more specific. So if you can join the group as your business page, especially if your business page is the same as your name, that would be ideal because you may feel more confident in posting business stuff on your business page. For example, on my Ryan Rieger business page, it's business stuff. There's some personal things in there too, but most of it is quotes, memes, inspiration, promotion. I might promote my Legends group, the Build Your Income Streams group, promote a podcast. I have a podcast clip. I don't do all that stuff on my personal profile. Some of you may be okay with having that all on your personal profile, and that's cool. It just kind of depends on what you're interested in, depends on the business, depends on how you want to interact with friends and family on Facebook. I prefer to keep it somewhat separate. I very, very, very rarely post anything on my personal profile related back to my business. But that's a personal decision. I don't think there's a right or wrong there at all. I just choose to post all the business stuff on my business page. And here is that. And so at the top, I have just a quick snippet that says, I help entrepreneurs create multiple streams of income. Grab my book, Streams of Income. At the top, I have a clickable, the cover image at the top of your Facebook profile is clickable. So when somebody clicks mine on my business page, it goes to an opportunity for them to actually go grab my book for free, the ebook version. On the left-hand side of my Facebook business profile, I have my Instagram handle, my email address, my Twitter handle, my LinkedIn profile, my YouTube channel, and my website. And so somebody could easily go there. Now, that is if I'm able to join these groups that I'm involved in as my business page. For the most part, though, most groups do not want you to join. It's an option they have to select in their settings. Most groups probably have not selected that. So most groups, you're going to be joining them as your personal profile. And that is okay. Let me show you what I do with mine. And for those of you listening, don't worry. I'm going to have a screenshot of this and I'll post it at streamsofincomeradio.com. This is episode 92. But just at the top, there's an opportunity for you to put right under your name. You can click this little edit button and you can put whatever you want here. For me, I have Christian, husband and father, entrepreneur, author, podcaster. And then I also have a link that says streamsofincome.com/ebook. This is not very conspicuous out there, bold. This is just a very simple little link that if somebody finds something helpful in one of these groups that I post in or I answer a question, if they stalk me, the first thing they're going to see is my little bio there and then my ebook. So they can automatically see, oh, he has an ebook. This is where you would put a link to your lead magnet or to your landing page, your opt-in page for your lead magnet. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So if somebody is stalking you, they find your information helpful, they're going to click that link and go to your website where you have an opt-in. That's a form that they can fill out, first name, maybe last name, at least first name and email. That'll get them onto your email list and that will get them your lead magnet. And I'll explain what I mean by that and some examples of that. Over here, I have my bio, where I went to school and stuff. I also have my Instagram handle, Twitter handle, LinkedIn profile, my YouTube channel, and my website. This is on my personal profile. It's on the left there. It's there for anybody that's, if they're digging in, stalking me a little bit, they'll be able to see these things and click on them. And I post business stuff on all of these things. So that's very helpful. And I recommend it every single one of you. And the way to do this is you just click edit details on the left. And up here, you can click on edit at the top to add in a little bio and a link if you want to. So those are some things I would do immediately. If you are following this method and you are in these Facebook groups, because people will look you up. They're going to private message you, ask for more information. They're going to go to your profile and kind of just look around. Who is this person? And if they see that you have a website, they're going to go to your website. They're going to stalk you on social media. They're going to click the link at the top of this, and they're going to see, oh, he has an ebook, or he has a one-page PDF that I can download. Let's get that. I want more information from this person because that answer to that question in that group was so helpful, and I want to know more. So lead magnets, you have all seen them, and it simply is something you give in exchange for their contact information. And primarily we're talking about an email address here. So for me, my main lead magnet is my book, Streams of Income, in ebook format. I also have the opportunity for them to get my physical book for free. They just need to pay for shipping. But be thinking about what your lead magnet is. Be thinking about what information, what are people asking you for? What questions are you getting in these groups? If you see 3 or 4 of the same type of question that leads to about the same answer, you might want to create a lead magnet around that, or create more information around that. That could be the start of a book, the start of a course. That could be, and you could answer those questions in a lead magnet format. And you can have several lead magnets. So let me give you some examples. It could be an ebook. Now, when I say ebook, don't think you have to write 200 pages. My little book, Streams of Income, is about 90 some pages, and it's small. You can read it in like 45 minutes. So it doesn't have to be this gargantuan effort, this gargantuan book writing effort. Some of you might think writing a book would just be the hardest thing in the world. And so maybe that's not where you start. It's not hard to write a book. I guarantee a lot of you already have content regarding this that you could put into a book. You all have a book's worth of information on your subject, I bet. A workbook, you could easily use like something like Kindle Direct Publishing and post it, and you could use KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, for a book, a physical book, and a Kindle book as well. And people don't have to actually have a Kindle to be able to read it. They can download a Kindle app and be able to read Kindle books on their Mac, their PC, on their phone, their iPad. So they don't have to actually have an actual Kindle device. But then if you use KDP, your book is available on print on demand as well. So somebody anywhere in the world can go to Amazon.com, or maybe their local Amazon site. If they're in France, it'd be Amazon.fr. If they're in Germany, Amazon.de. They could find your book there, and they could order it, and Amazon will print just that one and ship it to them. It's awesome. For those of you that have ever thought about writing a book and thinking about having to go through the process of a regular publisher, you might have to buy a few thousand copies, and you have them sitting in your garage, and you hope that you can sell them. Well, with KDP, it's just kdp.amazon.com. It's literally print on demand. And so Amazon will print that one and ship it to your customer, and they will pay you. It doesn't cost a thing to do this. If you can upload a PDF, you can use it. I actually have VAs that do this for me, where they will do the formatting for me, make it look pretty, because there is still some work in getting it KDP ready, but it's not hard, and a VA can do that for you. So that's an ebook or a workbook, even a physical book. You could do a free trial. If you have some type of course, a membership community, you could do a free trial as a lead magnet. You could have a mini course. You could do quizzes or assessments. Those are very popular right now. Just ask somebody to take a 2-minute quiz, maybe 2 or 3 questions, and it kind of just gives them some quick information, and then gets them onto your email list. You could have a checklist. This is one of the easiest things to do. So think through, does your content have steps? So if you are into photography, for example, maybe you have a checklist or tips of like the 5 pieces of equipment you must have to take great pictures in nature, something like that. I have no idea what that, but you get my point. It could literally be just, the 5 foods never to eat if you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to build muscle. Here are a list of foods that you do need to eat. It could be a simple 1-page PDF. You can use a tool like Canva, canve.com, or canva.com, canva.com. And you can create some very neat checklists and downloads. They have all kinds of templates there for you that you can just use and plug in your content, and boom, you have a lead magnet. Super easy. I can even probably, I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but I can use Canva and make some pretty neat things with it. You could do a challenge. Those are very popular right now. So maybe a weight loss challenge, a 7-day fasting challenge. Jenny and I just did a breakthrough challenge for people going through this type of content, through getting their content out into the world. We went through there's a 2-week breakthrough challenge of steps to go through to get your first paid offer out there. You could do a swipe file. So that might be an email sequence already built for you, and people just have to put their information in. This could be maybe a social media content calendar that somebody could just swipe from you, and it's literally just like a file that maybe it's a Google document, or maybe it could be a zip file that you send to them of information. It could be a discount. It could be a webinar, like a webinar you've already recorded. It could be a spreadsheet if your information's more technical. Maybe it's some type of spreadsheet document, a calculate that's already got formulas into it. Saves somebody a lot of time. Access to a group or community. Maybe you have a free Facebook group. That could be a lead magnet where you get people into a Facebook group. And I have a Facebook group just called Streams of Income from my book. It's honestly not super active right now, but I get a couple of requests a day for that group. It's because people are typing into Facebook streams of income or making money online, and my group is popping up and they're asking to join. And so you can have a free Facebook group right now. And I ask questions at the beginning of it to qualify people. I don't accept every single person that gets in there, and we actually kick people out if they're promoting. Just yesterday, I had to remove somebody because they were private messaging people in my group about a network marketing opportunity. So, but in my Facebook group, one of the questions at the beginning is, would you like to get my Streams of Income book for free? If so, put your email address. So they put their email address there. I take it and put it over into my email program that has my autoresponder. And then they're now getting my emails. And so that's a way to build your email list. So a free Facebook could be great. You could do something like a roadmap if you have steps of accomplishing something. If your content is like, do this step by step, you could have a roadmap to that. You could have templates. The last one is template. So there's probably 50 more we could come up with if we just did some brainstorming, but templates of Canva templates. You could, if you're a pro on graphic design, you could put together templates for people, and that would be a lead magnet. So there are so many opportunities for this. It's just anything that somebody would think, yes, I want to give my email address in exchange for that. And that gets them into your funnel. That starts the conversation. That starts the dating process, if you will. It's like, it's like asking them out for coffee, and they're getting to know you. And then you want them to progress further and in that relationship with you. And from there, it might end up being a course after that. So after they're on your email list, you may have and you may not even have this all built out yet. In the back of your mind, you could be thinking, okay, how else can I serve these people? If I get somebody into my 7-day, let's drop 2 pounds weight loss challenge. After that, what is next? Maybe you take that content and turn it into a course. Maybe you turn it into an opportunity to do one-on-one coaching, but you listen to your audience. That's the benefit of building the list. That's a benefit of if you have a free Facebook group, is you can listen to your audience. How else can I serve you? What do you need? All the time I'm asking questions, or just looking at questions in my groups, seeing the needs, interacting with people, just have conversations. Just last night, I was on a call with my Legends group, and we were talking about virtual assistants, and the idea of a wholesale virtual assistant came up, and several of them said, yes, I want a wholesale VA. I would love to have a virtual assistant that finds wholesale deals for me. There you go. So now I'm going to be going down the road of how do I serve that need? And so that's what you do. You don't have to think in advance of all these things. You could have in the back of your mind the possibilities that exist in regard to a course, a book, a membership community, an accountability type group, a mastermind type group, a live event, one-on-one coaching, recurring income. You could have all these ideas in the back of your head of what's possible with this content and how you could serve your audience. And you could look at what other people are doing in your niche and get ideas, but focus on your people. Listen to them. They will tell you by the questions that they ask. They will tell you exactly what they need. And you'll know based on those questions how to serve them, how to take them deeper, how to get them the results that they need. And hopefully that's with more content, a course, a book, or whatever, but they will tell you. So you've been involved in these groups, or you will be involved in these groups, and you'll continue to be involved in these groups, and you're going to get people that private message you that want for more information. And that more information that you can give them is your lead magnet. You can send them to a page called an opt-in page, where you can have a form there with some basic information. That could be a super simple page that you create. And when I say you create, you could use a service like ConvertKit or Kajabi if you're going to end up creating a course. And both of those platforms have built-in templates that are very easy to plug into place. And so ConvertKit would house your email list, your growing email list, and even up to 1,000 subscribers is free. So get on their free plan. I'll have a link in the show notes for ConvertKit, and because it's one of the best starter places to go to create a simple website that has an opt-in. You can even sell digital products from ConvertKit. So you can hook up like PayPal or Stripe to it and take payment if you want to. But here's the process. You're involved in these groups or wherever you are interacting with your ideal audience. They're going to ask for more information, and that is your lead magnet, but you have to get that to them. And the beauty of this opt-in page is that you're not like responding one-on-one to people and sending them. Now, some of the people who private message you, you may send them directly to that lead magnet page, or you may be corresponding with them directly. But for the most part, the people are going to go to this opt-in page that you create. It's called a landing page or an opt-in page that has some simple information that says, fill out this form to get my tip sheet, to get my templates, to get my ebook. They fill out that form and it goes on. Their email will be in your email list now. You just added a new email to your list, and they will automatically get a response from your system. If you use ConvertKit, ConvertKit will automatically send them. They'll send them to a thank you page immediately where they can download that information, and they will get an email from you automatically in their inbox. So they could be, it could be 3 a.m. where you are, and they're in, let's say, and they're in England, which might be 6 or 7 hours later for you, and they're poking around and they see your Facebook profile and they see, hey, get my free ebook here, and they click on that link. They're going to fill out the form, and ConvertKit or whatever platform you use. You could use WordPress and use any other tool, but something like ConvertKit makes it super easy if you're brand new at this stuff. And they're going to fill out the form, and they're automatically going to get sent to this thank you page to download it and automatically get an email. And you might just see that, hey, you got a new subscriber. And that's how the process started. So now, congratulations, you got a new subscriber. They got your lead magnet. And now you're going to just continue to serve them. You're going to want to have some type of email sequence in place that maybe you check on them a day later, say, hey, just wanted to make sure, did you get my lead magnet? Any questions? You may start having a newsletter that goes out every week, every couple of weeks, but just stay engaged with those folks. Keep giving them good, valuable, free content. If you have a free Facebook group, point them to that, ask them to get involved there. But you want to find out, how else can I serve these folks that are getting on my email list? What is the next step after the lead magnet? So if I have your lead magnet and I want to have the results that you've created, or I want to get the results that you have in your mind that I need to get, what do I need to do? What's that next step for me? Maybe that's a course. And so you could come out with a live workshop that you do. So you send an email to your growing email list and saying, hey, you got my lead magnet, but I know some of you have been asking me about wanting to go deeper in this stuff. So I'm thrilled to announce that I'm coming out with a 3-part live workshop that's going to become a course. Jump in on this live workshop. It's going to be 3 live webinars. and the content will become a course, and you'll have the course for life. Or maybe it's a book that you're putting together. Maybe it's a coaching program that you're putting together. However you feel like you can serve your growing audience the best, you're going to try these things. And the beauty about this, guys, is that none of this stuff really doesn't cost any money to try it out. You can try out something that, if it bombs, nobody signs up, big deal. You try something different and just keep trying to serve your audience. Keep asking questions, keep lurking and learning in these groups, keep engaging with your growing audience and find out, how can I serve them? What do they need? How can I serve that need? How can I answer their questions? How can I get them moving on to the next step? And this is how your business grows. So you're going to continually be involved in these groups. Your email list is going to continue to grow. You may end up partnering with other people in your niche. An example might be, if you're serving, let's say you have an idea for a course that's related to Amazon sellers. I've done this so many times where I partner with somebody who has the content. So for example, my friend Greg Perry has a group called Treasure Hunting Profits that I created with him. He is an eBay expert. I am not. And so we created a win-win. I have an email list. He didn't. He creates the content. I launch it out to my list. We split the profits, and we created a membership site immediately. And he's immediately got income coming in every month from that group that I partnered with him to create. I did the same thing with my friend Ryan Robinson on a Walmart group. So he's a Walmart selling expert. He has that content. And so we created a Walmart course together. It's all his content. I just helped him with some of the techie stuff, being on Zoom, and launching it out to my list. We created a win-win-win, as my friend and partner and mentor, Jim Cochran, talks about. It's a win for my audience because they get amazing content. It's a win for me because I get to essentially make income from just sending out an email. Of course, with some of these, I'm on these webinars with them, helping them with the techie. So it's more than just sending an email, but I get a win-win. I get a win because I'm able to provide a good content to my audience. I'm always looking for good content for my audience. And of course, the content creator, in this case, like Greg and Ryan, they get a course that is successful, and they earn income from that. And so that is super fun. So I'm always looking for those opportunities. So think about, what is your niche, and who else is already in your niche? Who are the gatekeepers in that audience, in that niche? Who has the audience that you want to have? Now, don't look at them as competitors, because you may have something unique that you can bring that they would love to offer to their audience. Because, quite frankly, guys, it can be hard to always come up with new content. And if it's always up to you, that can be difficult. So I love the process of bringing up other people who have expertise in a certain area. My friend Kate Chaddock is an expert with Keepa, Keepa, Keepa.com. If you're an Amazon seller, you know what Keepa is. And so she's coming out with a Keepa course, and I'm going to partner with her. And that's all her content. She's already created it. So this will be a little bit different situation, but I'm going to promote that to my audience because I know Kate. She's got amazing information. Her and her husband, Nate, are very successful Amazon sellers. Nate was able to quit his teaching job a few years ago because of their Amazon business. So I am thrilled to bring that opportunity to my audience and partner with Kate in that. So always looking for opportunities like that. And so are other content creators like me who have an audience. We're always looking for the up-to-date, fresh, new information that we can bring to our audience. And if you have that, you may have, a certain angle that you can come at it, and just reach out to these folks, get to know these folks, get to know these gatekeepers. Who are the people that have the audience that you want to have? Think about your ideal audience. Who else do they follow right now? Follow those people, get to know those people, start to build a relationship with those gatekeepers. So in my case, it was Jim Cochran. When I wrote my book, Real Wholesale Sources, I had no audience whatsoever. He had the audience. I came to him and I said, I have this idea for a book called Real Wholesale Sources. It's going to be this and this and this. And he said, I love it. Let's promote it to my audience. We did. We split the profits, and I made several $1,000s pretty quickly from that book launch. And I still make money every single month from that little book. that I wrote back in, I think 2014, 2013, 2014. And so find those people that you can partner with creatively. And so there's way more ways than just Facebook groups. Think about, where is your audience? Who are they listening to? Who are they following? Build those relationships. Start learning who the players are in your niche, and come up with unique ways to work with them. It's called joint venture partnerships. They're beautiful. It's one of the best ways that I've learned to grow my list fast. And so you can totally do this Facebook method. I think you should continue to do that. But if you're looking for a faster way to, add on a few hundred subscribers really quickly, find somebody in your niche that already has an audience, and find a creative win-win-win. Partner up with them to launch your course together, to create do a one-time, one-off webinar, a coaching program, whatever it is. Just find ways to serve your people, and you'll come up with these ideas. So that's how you grow it. That's how it starts to grow. Just start getting involved, listening to your audience, create new lead magnets, get involved in other groups, and you will grow your business. It may not happen overnight, but you can do it. It didn't happen for me overnight. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly getting new leads into my list. Now I do Facebook ads, and you can start to do that. I definitely wouldn't recommend that at the beginning. Do it the free, organic way. Just start getting engaged with folks. Find your audience, find out where they're hanging online, create new lead magnets for them, create new courses, but do it after listening to their needs, seeing how you can serve them the best. And then you're not guessing. You're not guessing at what that new thing should be. They're telling you based on their questions that they're asking, and you just come up with that content based on those questions. So there you have it. If you follow these steps, and you've created a lead magnet, and you've got an email list going, and this doesn't have to be a fancy email list. Literally, you could have a spreadsheet with names and emails on it if you want. But a service like ConvertKit has a free plan for up to 1,000 subscribers. So I would suggest getting something like that. It'll just be more professional. It'll save you a lot of time of having to, send out emails through like Gmail. You can send out, they'll get an automatic email, but you can also send out broadcasts anytime that you want to. And you'll just start growing your audience. And this will happen over time. But now, if you followed this plan that we've talked about over this episode and last week, you now have an idea, especially if you've grown a little email list, you're going to know what your first paid offer could be. And it's going to be based on the needs in your audience. So simply just serve them, ask them what they need, and they'll tell you, and they'll tell you by the questions that they're asking. And so come up with your first paid offer. That could be a book, an ebook. Those items could also be a lead magnet for you, a free lead magnet, but maybe it's a mini course. Maybe it's a webinar. Maybe it's a one-on-one coaching program, or just one-on-one coaching session. If you don't have a whole program, or you want to do a whole program, it could be any number of things. And we talked last week about the master acronym, about what's possible in this space, of how you can start off with a lead magnet. It could become a course. It could become, you could have a social community surrounding that course. It could become live events, mastermind groups, accountability groups, one-on-one coaching, end-to-end services where you completely do the process for them if your niche works like that. And you can have a recurring revenue piece that shows you what's possible. But you got to get that first paid offer out there first. And again, the beauty of this is you can pre-sell this. You could pre-sell a course. So you don't have to come up with all the content, record hours of beautiful video, and then sell it and hope. And then, what if nobody buys it, And so with doing it where it's like a live workshop, you can pre-sell it and then do the content live with them, and then have somebody go back in and edit it and make it more pretty if you want. But another thing I hear people say is, I'm not good on video, or, all of this sounds really hard. Just start, be authentic. It's okay if your videos aren't super polished. They're not super fancy, super professional. People just identify when it's more, in my opinion, I think it might be better if it's not all those things, because you're a real person to them, and it's not, they can see themselves, kind of replicating that better if it's not all these super polished videos. And we do that primarily through these live workshops that then later, if we want to, we'll go back in and edit them and make it, more of a professional looking course. But you don't even have to do that. You could just give them the recordings and that's the course. And so if somebody else buys it later, it's already done. But you start doing it live. And the beauty of doing something like that live, creating a live workshop that becomes the course, is that in the middle of the course, you might be in the middle of these live workshops, you can pivot. So if you're getting a lot of questions about a certain thing, you can go deeper on something. Maybe you didn't expect they would have trouble with that concept, so you're able to explain it more. You can't do that if you create the course first and then launch it. So the live workshop gives you the ability to kind of pivot in midstream. So guys, I hope that's been helpful for you. If I could just boil all this down, is just get started. Find your people, find your ideal audience, get in front of them wherever they are and serve them. Simply serve them, answer their questions. That'll build your confidence too, because you'll see like, wow, I can really help these people. I am able to really, I know stuff. You know stuff, but your confidence may not be at the level where you feel like you can help people, but I guarantee you, you can. Just simply get out in front of folks, have those conversations, serve them, answer their questions, and see where it goes. And you're going to have an awesome business. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, ryan@ryanrieger.com. I love helping people move forward in this stuff. This is a passion of mine. The world needs what you have. The world needs your message. So it's your responsibility to get it out there. And I'd love to help you do that. So feel free to send me an email, get into that Build Your Income Streams group that I have with Jenny, where we go deeper in this stuff. Just get it out there in the world. We need it, and it'll create an awesome win-win-win through it. So God bless you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.